From snorting cocaine in Learjets to nights of wild sex that led to an unplanned pregnancy she later aborted, this is the untold crazy sex life of Stevie Nicks and how her escapades led to some of her life's greatest regrets. Stevie Nicks stands as one of rock music's most enduring and influential figures, a songwriter whose poetic lyrics and distinctive voice have captivated audiences for over 5 decades. Yet behind the platinum records and sold-out arenas lies a far more layered story, one shaped not only by artistic triumph, but by emotional turbulence, excess, difficult choices, and hard-won wisdom. During the height of 1970s, rock stardom, an era defined by private jets, endless touring, and a culture where indulgence often blurred into self-destruction, Stevie was widely seen as a wild woman of rock. The mythology surrounding that period included stories of extravagant travel, chaotic romances, and the intoxicating freedom that came with sudden global fame. But the truth is more nuanced than the legend. Rather than defining her, those years ultimately became part of a deeper journey towards self-awareness and survival. Born Stephanie Lynn Nicks. On May 26, 1948, in Phoenix, Arizona, Stevie grew up in a musical household. Her grandfather, Aaron Nicks, was a struggling country music singer, and he gave young Stevie her first guitar at 16, a gift that would prove transformative. Her family moved frequently due to her father's career as a corporate executive, but it was during high school in California that her musical path truly began. She met Lindsey Buckingham at Menlo Atherton High School in the mid-1960s. Their connection was immediate, musically and personally. What began as a spontaneous duet hinted at the creative electricity that would later define one of rock's most famous partnerships. After briefly attending San Jose State University, where she studied speech communication and considered becoming an English teacher, Stevie made a pivotal decision. She dropped out to join Lindsey in the band Fritz, choosing the uncertain life of a musician over academic stability. Fritz performed throughout the San Francisco Bay Area, opening for legendary acts like Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin. These shows exposed Stevie not only to the raw force of live performance, but also to a counterculture where artistic brilliance often coexisted with heavy substance use, a duality that would later echo through her own life. Though Fritz never found commercial success, the experience forged her stage presence, resilience, and songwriting voice. When Fritz disbanded in 1972, Stevie and Lindsey formed a duo and relocated to Los Angeles, determined to make it in the music industry. They worked on their album, Buckingham Nicks, released in 1973 on Polydor Records. The album featured Stevie's ethereal vocals and Lindsey's innovative guitar work, but despite critical appreciation, it failed commercially. These were lean years. Stevie worked as a waitress and cleaning woman to pay the bills while Lindsey took session work. She has spoken candidly about this period, describing the financial hardship and emotional toll of pursuing a dream that seemed increasingly out of reach. During these difficult times, living in a small apartment and struggling to make rent, Stevie wrote Rhiannon, inspired by a novel about a Welsh witch. This song would later become one of her signature pieces. The struggle wasn't just financial. The romantic relationship between Stevie and Lindsey was intense and often turbulent, marked by the pressure of their circumstances and their shared ambition. Yet they persevered, continuing to write and perform together despite the setbacks. In 1974, their fortunes changed dramatically. Mick Fleetwood, drummer and co-founder of the British-American rock band Fleetwood Mac, was searching for a new guitarist after Bob Welch's departure. He heard Buckingham Nicks playing in a recording studio and was impressed by Lindsey's guitar work. Mick invited Lindsey to join Fleetwood Mac, but Lindsey had one condition: Stevie had to come too. It was a package deal. Mick agreed, and on New Year's Eve, 1974, both Stevie and Lindsey officially joined the band. This decision would transform both the duo's career and Fleetwood Mac itself. The band's 1975 self-titled album, the first to feature the new lineup, was a massive success, reaching #1 on the Billboard charts. Stevie's songs Rhiannon and Landslide became instant classics, showcasing her gift for introspective, emotionally resonant songwriting. Landslide, written during the difficult pre-Fleetwood Mac years, reflected on aging, change, and uncertainty. Its simple yet profound lyrics have made it one of the most covered and beloved songs in rock history. Stevie has said the song was written during a crisis point when she was considering giving up music and going back to school. By 1976, Fleetwood Mac was preparing to record what would become one of the best-selling albums of all time, Rumors. But the recording sessions were fraught with interpersonal drama. Stevie and Lindsay's romantic relationship had ended, yet they were forced to work together intimately. Mick Fleetwood was divorcing his wife, and bassist John McVie was separating from keyboardist Christine McVie. Despite, or perhaps because of, this emotional chaos, Rumors captured something raw and real. Released in 1977, it spent 31 weeks at #1 and has sold over 40 million copies worldwide. Stevie contributed several songs, including Dreams, which became Fleetwood Mac's only #1 single in the United States. Dreams, written in just 10 minutes in a small studio, addressed the breakdown of her relationship with Lindsay. Its message about reflection and resilience resonated with millions. Stevie has described it as a song about survival and moving forward despite heartbreak. The album's success cemented Stevie's status as a rock icon, but it came at a cost. The band members were thrust into a whirlwind of fame, constant touring, and the excesses that came with 1970s rock stardom. Even as Fleetwood Mac reached unprecedented heights, Stevie began developing her solo career. In 1981, she released Belladonna, her debut solo album, which debuted at #1 and featured hit singles like Edge of 17 and the duet Stop Draggin' My Heart Around with Tom Petty. Edge of 17 was inspired by two profound losses: the death of her uncle Jonathan and the murder of John Lennon, both occurring within weeks of each other. The song's driving beat and powerful vocals showcased a more rock-oriented side of Stevie's artistry. Her solo success proved that she could stand on her own, separate from Fleetwood Mac's collective identity. She continued to balance both her solo work and her commitments to the band throughout the 1980s, releasing successful solo albums like The Wild Heart, 1983, and Rock a Little, 1985, while also recording and touring with Fleetwood Mac. This dual career was demanding, requiring constant creativity and energy. Stevie wrote prolifically during this period, often keeping journals filled with poetry and song ideas. Her distinctive songwriting style, mystical, romantic, and deeply personal, became her trademark. Even as Fleetwood Mac reached unprecedented heights, Stevie began developing her solo career. In 1981, she released Belladonna, her debut solo album, which debuted at #1 and featured hit singles like Edge of 17 and the duet Stop Draggin' My Heart Around with Tom Petty. Edge of 17 was inspired by two profound losses: the death of her uncle Jonathan and the murder of John Lennon, both occurring within weeks of each other. The song's driving beat and powerful vocals showcased a more rock-oriented side of Stevie's artistry. Her solo success proved that she could stand on her own, separate from Fleetwood Mac's collective identity. She continued to balance both her solo work and her commitments to the band throughout the 1980s, releasing successful solo albums like The Wild Heart, 1983, and Rock a Little, 1985, while also recording and touring with Fleetwood Mac. This dual career was demanding, requiring constant creativity and energy. Stevie wrote prolifically during this period, often keeping journals filled with poetry and song ideas. Her distinctive songwriting style, mystical, romantic, and deeply personal, became her trademark. Stevie has been particularly outspoken about her experience with Klonopin, calling it one of the most damaging periods of her life. She was prescribed the benzodiazepine in the late 1980s and took it for approximately 8 years. During this time, Stevie has said the medication dulled her creativity, affected her memory, and changed her personality. She described feeling like she was in a fog and unable to access the creative wellspring that had always defined her. The drug's sedative effects made it difficult to write, perform, and connect with her authentic self. In 1993, recognizing that the medication was harming rather than helping her, Stevie checked into a hospital for a grueling 47-day detoxification process. Withdrawal from benzodiazepines can be dangerous and requires careful medical supervision. She has described this experience as even more difficult than quitting cocaine. In interviews, Stevie has expressed anger about being prescribed such a powerful and addictive medication, feeling that it robbed her of nearly a decade of her creative life. She has said that if she could go back and change one thing, it would be refusing that prescription. The lost years of creativity, she believes, can never be recovered. This experience made her a vocal advocate for awareness about prescription drug addiction. She has warned others, particularly women, to be cautious about benzodiazepines and to ask questions about any medication they're prescribed. While Stevie's professional achievements are well documented, her personal life has been marked by both deep connections and profound losses. Beyond her complicated relationship with Lindsey Buckingham, which lasted on and off for years and influenced countless songs, Stevie had several significant relationships. Her relationship with Don Henley of the Eagles in the late 1970s produced some creative output. She has said that songs like Sarah were connected to that period of her life. The relationship was intense but brief, characteristic of the fast-paced rock world they inhabited. In 1983, Stevie made a decision that would haunt her. She married Kim Anderson, the widower of her best friend, Robin Snyder Anderson, who had died of leukemia shortly after giving birth. Stevie has been extraordinarily candid about this marriage, calling it a mistake born of grief and a misguided attempt to help care for Robin's newborn son, Matthew. The marriage lasted only 3 months. Stevie has said there was no romance involved. It was two grieving people making an irrational decision in the depths of loss. Despite the divorce, she remained close to Matthew and helped support his education, maintaining her role as his godmother. Her relationship with Joe Walsh of the Eagles, which lasted from approximately 1983 to 1986, was, by many accounts, one of her most significant. Both struggled with substance abuse during their time together, and Stevie has described their relationship as passionate but ultimately unsustainable given their mutual addictions. Walsh has credited his recovery in part to recognizing that their relationship couldn't survive if they both continued using. Stevie never had biological children, a decision she has reflected on with mixed emotions. In interviews, she has said that her career was her choice, that she couldn't have been both the mother she would want to be and the artist she needed to be. The demands of touring, recording, and performing were incompatible with raising children, at least in the way she envisioned motherhood. She has spoken about a pregnancy that ended in abortion, describing it as a painful decision, but one she felt was necessary given the circumstances of her life at the time. This experience influenced her songwriting, particularly the song Sarah, which carries multiple layers of meaning related to loss, longing, and the roads not taken. After completing her detoxification from Klonopin in 1993, Stevie experienced a creative rebirth. She rejoined Fleetwood Mac for The Dance, a 1997 MTV reunion concert that became one of the year's biggest music events. The live album from that concert went multi-platinum, proving that the band's appeal remained strong after 2 decades. The late 1990s and 2000s saw Stevie balancing her solo career with periodic Fleetwood Mac reunions. She released solo albums including Trouble in Shangri-La, 2001, and In Your Dreams, 2011, both of which were well received and demonstrated that her songwriting remained vital and relevant. In Your Dreams, produced with Dave Stewart of Eurythmics, was particularly significant as it was her first album of new material in a decade. The album was accompanied by a documentary of the same name, showing Stevie's creative process and her collaboration with Stewart. Critics praised her for creating music that honored her signature style while avoiding self-parody. In 2014, Stevie released 24 Karat Gold, Songs from the Vault, an album of previously unreleased songs and demos from throughout her career. The project allowed her to revisit and complete songs that had been set aside over the years, giving fans a deeper look into her creative archive. Stevie's contributions to music have been recognized with numerous honors. In 1998, Fleetwood Mac was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, with Stevie performing Rhiannon and Landslide at the ceremony. In an unprecedented achievement, Stevie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a second time in 2019, this time as a solo artist. She became the first woman to be inducted twice, a testament to her dual success with Fleetwood Mac and as a solo performer. During her induction speech, she spoke about the importance of women in rock and encouraged young women to pursue their musical dreams. Throughout her career, Stevie has influenced countless artists across multiple genres. Her distinctive style, the flowing shawls, platform boots, and mystical imagery, became iconic, but it's her songwriting that has proven most enduring. Artists from Taylor Swift to Harry Styles have cited her as an influence, and her songs continue to resonate with new generations. In recent years, Stevie has become increasingly open about her journey through addiction and recovery. She speaks with the wisdom of someone who has faced her demons and emerged stronger, though not without scars. In various interviews, she has emphasized several key themes. On cocaine addiction, Stevie has described how cocaine nearly destroyed her voice and her career. She's grateful for the intervention that led her to Betty Ford and credits that decision with saving her life. She said that watching friends and colleagues die from drug overdoses was a wake-up call that she couldn't ignore. On prescription drugs, her experience with Klonopin made her passionate about warning others, particularly about the dangers of benzodiazepines. She has said that prescription drugs can be just as dangerous as street drugs, sometimes more so because they come with a doctor's authority. She encourages people to research any medication they're prescribed and to be wary of anything that seems to change who they are fundamentally. On lost time, one of Stevie's deepest regrets is the creative time she lost during her years on Klonopin. She has spoken about how the fog of that medication prevented her from writing, from feeling, from being fully present. While she's grateful for her recovery, she mourns the songs that were never written during those years. On choices and priorities, Stevie has been remarkably honest about the trade-offs she made. She chose her career over traditional family life, chose art over stability, and lived with the consequences of those choices. She doesn't present herself as having regrets about these fundamental decisions, but rather as someone who understands that every choice comes with a price. On resilience, perhaps most importantly, Stevie's story is one of survival. She has outlived many of her contemporaries, weathered industry changes, overcome addiction, and continued creating. She often speaks about the importance of resilience, of getting back up after falling, of not letting mistakes define you permanently. One aspect of Stevie's life that has never been fully resolved is her relationship with Lindsey Buckingham. Their creative partnership produced some of rock's most memorable music, but their personal history has left lasting complications. In 2018, Lindsey was dismissed from Fleetwood Mac under controversial circumstances. The details remain disputed. Lindsey has suggested that Stevie issued an ultimatum, while Stevie and other band members have described it as a collective decision based on incompatible working styles and ongoing tensions. Stevie has said that after decades of trying to maintain a professional relationship with Lindsey, despite their complicated past, she reached a point where it was no longer sustainable for her well-being. She has described feeling that the dynamics within the band had become toxic and that change was necessary. This situation illustrates one of the ongoing challenges in Stevie's life: how to honor the past while protecting her present peace. The songs she wrote with and about Lindsey are part of her legacy, but the person and the relationship have proven more difficult to reconcile with over time. Now, in her mid-70s, Stevie continues to perform and create, though at a more measured pace than in her earlier decades. She tours periodically, often selling out arenas, and her performances demonstrate that her voice, while evolved from its younger incarnation, still carries emotional power. She's spoken about aging in the music industry, about being a woman in her 70s in a field that often celebrates youth above all. Her perspective is refreshingly honest. She acknowledges the physical challenges of performing at her age, but she also embraces the wisdom and confidence that comes with experience. Stevie has become something of an elder stateswoman in rock music, mentoring younger artists and speaking about the industry's evolution. She's been supportive of contemporary artists who cite her as an influence, occasionally performing with them and always generous in her encouragement. Her social media presence, managed with help but including her own voice, shows a woman who is comfortable with who she has become. She shares throwback photos, current activities, and reflections on her career with a mix of nostalgia and forward-looking energy. Ultimately, Stevie Nicks' story is best told through her music. Each song represents a moment in time, an emotion captured, a truth revealed. Landslide, contemplating change and the passage of time during a moment of crisis. Rhiannon, embracing mystery and feminine power. Dreams, finding strength after heartbreak. Sarah, processing loss and the paths not taken. Edge of 17, confronting mortality and grief. Stand Back, celebrating creative inspiration and independence. These songs and dozens of others form a musical autobiography, documenting her journey from ambitious young musician to rock icon to survivor and sage. What can we learn from Stevie Nicks' journey? Her story offers several enduring lessons. Authenticity over image. While Stevie created a distinctive visual style, she has always emphasized that it emerged from who she truly was, not from market research or image consulting. Her mystical bohemian aesthetic reflected her genuine interests and personality. The cost of art. Stevie has been honest about what she sacrificed for her career: conventional family life, stability, and at times her health. She doesn't romanticize these sacrifices but acknowledges them as part of her chosen path. Recovery is possible. Her journey from active addiction through multiple recovery processes to sustained sobriety offers hope to others struggling with similar issues. She proves that it's possible to reclaim your life and creativity even after years of substance abuse. Creative longevity requires evolution. Stevie hasn't simply repeated her 1970s successes. She's evolved as an artist, adapting to changing times while maintaining her core identity. This balance between consistency and growth has kept her relevant across 5 decades. Unfinished business. Her ongoing tensions with Lindsey Buckingham remind us that some relationships and situations never fully resolve. Sometimes the best we can do is manage them and protect our own peace. The power of vulnerability. Stevie's willingness to share her struggles, with addiction, with grief, with mistakes, has deepened her connection with fans and given her story greater meaning beyond just musical achievement. Stevie Nicks remains a singular figure in rock music, a woman who helped define an era while transcending it, who faced personal demons while creating enduring art, who made difficult choices and lived with their consequences. Her influence extends beyond her music to encompass style, attitude, and a particular vision of feminine power that eschews traditional models. She showed that a woman could be mystical without being weak, sexual without being objectified, and powerful without adopting masculine postures. As she continues her journey, Stevie Nicks stands as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration. Her struggles with addiction serve as warnings about the dangers of substance abuse, both recreational and prescribed. Her recovery demonstrates that change is possible at any age. Her creative output proves that authentic artistry can endure across decades. The Gold Dust Woman, as she once called herself, has lived a life as complex and layered as her best songs. She has loved and lost, succeeded and failed, risen and fallen and risen again. Through it all, she has created music that continues to speak to fundamental human experiences: longing, heartbreak, resilience, and hope. In her own words from various interviews, Stevie has emphasized that she has no regrets about her career, though she has regrets about some personal choices. She wouldn't trade the music, the success, or the impact she's had for a more conventional life. But she hopes that by sharing her story, including its difficult chapters, she can help others avoid some of the pitfalls she encountered. As we look at Stevie Nicks' life and career, we see not just a rock star, but a fully realized human being who has lived on her own terms, faced the consequences, and emerged with wisdom to share. Her greatest legacy may not be any single song or album, but rather the complete arc of her journey, a testament to the possibility of enduring creativity, hard-won recovery, and the resilience of the human spirit.